Good snap, the hold, the kick is up, the kick is good!
Will be a swing by Kramer, kept alive by Jalbert. Lucas with the attack off the side of the block for the kill.
Gazette, he looks to go off guard, tucks back inside to the A gap, and he gets in for the touchdown.
Harrington, angle, off a touch, diving, Dunbar, holy cats, wow!
Starcevic in the shotgun, play action, looking for him, has him down the field to his brother Starcevic for the touchdown. It's 31 yards. Jake.
Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Welcome to Week 8 in high school football across the state of North Dakota, live here from the Gateway to the Grasslands in Milner, North Dakota. Your live event welcomes you to Gaynor Field for a Region 1 matchup and a regular season finale. The visiting LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos are ranked number 1 in the state polls, boasting a 7-0 record, looking for some revenge after a loss to this same team on this same field earlier last season to the Sargent County Bulldogs. The Lobos have a playoff spot secured, and the Bulldogs are 4-3 and out of the playoffs, but looking to create a little shockwaves here throughout the state and potentially upset that top-ranked team in LaMoure-Litchville Marion. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic Friday evening. I am Bryce Ognes and honored to be here tonight. This is the pregame show on your live event. Now, as previously mentioned, the Lobos are coming into the last game of the regular season with a perfect 7-0 record, averaging nearly 59 points per game while allowing only 15 points for their opponents. Last week, the Warbirds of Wyndmere-Lidgerwood gave them their biggest battle of the season, but this is it's still coming on top with a 68-42 victory, advancing their regional record to 3-0. Serving as the head coach of the LaMoure-Litchville Marion program, Andy Delabar. And Andy Delabar has his team's sights on another successful season. I was able to catch up with Coach Delabar earlier in the week, and this is what he had to say. All right, joining me here, Andy Delabar, head coach of the 7-0 LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos. Ahead of this week's game against Sargent County. Coach, how are we feeling heading into the final game of the regular season?
Well, I feel really good about just the position we're in and wrapping up our regular season with our region opponents. Starting off a couple weeks ago with Hankinson and last week with Wyndmere, and now another solid opponent in Sargent County. So it's kind of the perfect finish for us heading into playoffs.
Yeah, it's been a great season for you guys so far in your program. You guys always seem to be a contender. I mean, this group of seniors, you have they've got a solid baseline of success here, not only with Lobo football but basketball as well. And on the football side of things, we'll rewind a little bit for the folks at home. The freshmen who are now seniors back in 2021 were a part of the title team, where you guys had posted a 42-14 victory, I believe, against Cavalier, took home the title, and then the following year in 2022, semifinals game, met Cavalier again but fell short. And then last year you got to the quarterfinals, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, before maybe falling short to New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock. So now this season, those guys are back from last year. Again, off to a great start, 7-0, ranked number 1 at least in the last polls. The bar's pretty high for this program. Probably a big target on your back. You saw what happened, late last season against the opponent that you're playing too in Sargent County. Kind of had a high ranking first round of playoffs and gets knocked off. So I'm sure throughout the years you've learned to sort of expect the unexpected. So there's a lot of hype about you guys' program, and rightfully so. But what's kind of been the recurring message to the team throughout the season here to kind of keep things tight throughout each week?
Well, I think, going back further, it's just the culture and tradition that, you kind of go back to 2021, but I'd even go further back to that. It's been passed on for many years now. The expectations that what it means to be a Lobo football player, and I think our kids understand that, and there's a set of accountability that our players hold on each other for exceeding those expectations of what it means to put on a Lobo football jersey. So that I give credit to just the years and the tradition of the former players, and just having good coaches and parents and community that really support our program. So that's first. And as this season approached, we knew that our success from last year, we built and really created a good football team as the season went through, and had a tough, close loss to New Rockford in the quarterfinals. And, we felt like we were playing really good football at that time, and could have went the distance, but that's why you play the game. So I feel like over the summer and just to start the season, our expectations, our bar was set high, and we knew, what this team's capable of. And we also knew that we can't just be satisfied, and we have to, continue to look to improve every single week. Our motto is to continue to stay green and growing. We've not hit our peak, and nor should we. So I think that's been our motto, and looking at what our standard is, not necessarily our opponent, but our standard, and what it means to become a better football player after Friday night. So yeah, like I said, we're very fortunate with our schedule that we're going to play 3 really good teams before we go into playoffs, and likely get ourselves a bye. So we couldn't ask for it much better to set up to play a good Sargent County team like Coach Olson has. So we're excited for that one, and just another opportunity for us to get better and prepare for the playoffs.
Yeah, you mentioned the culture and everything, and Coach, from my count, I guess, just looking at the roster and the starters from last year into this year, I think we've essentially got 6 returning starters on each side of the ball for the Lobos. So really good continuity and good experience coming back this season. You've had a few roles to fill in, but it appears that you're not missing much of a beat. In Muslin, I believe, and a few others that were key players from last year. But I can see some weight differences as well when I sit here and I look at the roster from last year and to this year. It appears to me that these boys have been hitting the weight room pretty hard. And is that a push from you, or are these kids just kind of showing up on their own free will, getting ready for the next season?
You're exactly right. It's their expectation of knowing what it's going to take to win football games, and to be a championship program. It takes work in the off season, and I'm actually glad to say it comes from them. They're the ones that are putting in the time in the weight room, and being year-round competitors too. I think that's the other key to this too, that we have. You mentioned basketball, you mentioned wrestling, you mentioned our baseball programs, and so I really push our boys to do those sort of things, because competitiveness, I don't think you can just turn it on and off. It's something whether you have it or you don't. And so for our guys to be competitors year round, I think that just makes us better come football season, and definitely a credit to our boys that have put the work in the weight room, and put on the pounds, and knew that, hey, this is something. If we're going to be a championship type caliber team, we gotta do the work. Absolutely.
So on to the Bulldogs. You matched up with them last season. Didn't quite go your way, as the Bulldogs came away with a 59-28 win, but this is a much different team that you're facing. I think Sargent County maybe only has 2 starters back on offense and 1 on defense, but still some good athletes out there on the field. What can you expect to see out of the Bulldog team on Friday night?
Well, first off, they're well coached. I know Coach Olson, regardless of what he has on the field, there's going to be a plan, and I know that we have to be prepared for just about anything, and I know that his boys are going to be ready to play football. I know Sargent County has nothing to lose. They're going to come into this last game. We're going to have a target on our back, which we'll happily have. And we just know we're going to get the best out of the best when we play Sargent County. So excited for it because of, again, that opportunity, and just knowing that we're going to play a solid opponent.
For sure, yeah. Coach, appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to me. It's been fun kind of following along, seeing how you guys are doing this year, and And best of luck to you on Friday night and the remainder of the season.
Yeah, thank you, Bryce.
We'll be back with more pregame show on your live event right after a word from our sponsors.
There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota. Anderson Seed Farms Incorporated is your local LG Seeds and Dairyland seed dealership. They offer the latest traits and genetics in both corn and soybeans along with alfalfa. Anderson Seed Farms is also a certified seed conditioning plant that grows, conditions, and sells Westbred Spring Wheat Seed, which was the top-grown spring wheat in North Dakota last year. If you'd like to know more about these industry-leading products, contact Anderson Seed Farms in Foreman at 701-724-3601 or check out andersonseedfarms.com.
Welcome back to the pregame show on your live event. Once again, we are here in Milner, North Dakota, getting ready to kick off the final game of the regular season at Gaynor Field, where the Sargent County Bulldogs will host the LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos. The Sargent County Bulldogs have had a back-and-forth season, but have managed to bring home 2 W's in the last of as many weeks, bringing the Bulldogs to an overall record of 4-3 and 1-2 in region play. I caught up with the 20-year veteran head coach of the football program for the Sargent County Bulldogs, head coach Eric Olson, earlier in the week, and here's what he had to say prior to the matchup against the Lobos. Joining me again one final time this season, the 20th year head coach of the Sargent County Bulldogs football team, Mr. Eric Olson. Eric, is it hard to believe that it is week 8 already?
We were just talking about that. It has flown by, starting practice on August 8th. And yeah, you blink a couple times, and before you know it, it's October 8th, and we're sitting here in the last week of the year. And we've had pretty good weather. Besides our one night of a little bit of lightning that we had to deal with, we've had some beautiful weather to that we've gotten to enjoy this fall. So yeah, it is hard to believe that we're at the end of the year already, Bryce.
Yeah. Say a quick plug for you here that I'm sure maybe you don't want to discuss, but congratulations on your 100th win of your coaching career last week against Tri-State. Just a really tremendous accomplishment, and I think just a testament to your dedication to the kids in this program. So, first of all, when you started your coaching career with a pretty, dismal group of kids in 2005, I can say that because I was on the team. But did it ever cross your mind that someday you'd have, this specific accomplishment?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Bryce. I think more than anything, it probably tells me that I'm getting old. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head. You go back to 2005, and things didn't go as well as we had hoped in year one that year. But as a coach, you learn from your mistakes, and you grow. And I would have to admit that I'm a much different coach now, in 2024 than what I was in 2005. But like I said, you learn from your mistakes, and you know what? This is, reaching this milestone is a credit to all the kids that have played, you included. You were there for game 1 or for win number 1, 2006 against Ellendale. I'll always remember that, But no, it's the kids who go out and you guys are the ones performing on the field and having success, and it's a credit to all the coaches that have been around me, that I've surrounded myself with, and that's not just the varsity, it's the junior high, and that's the elementary. So it takes a village to do that, but it's pretty cool accomplishments, and it makes you think back and all the memories along the way, and then maybe all the close games that you maybe should have won along the way. That it's like, well, maybe that could have happened a long time ago if we would have won this game or that game and that game. But it's pretty neat to think back, and yeah, 20 years has flown by. I can tell you that.
Yeah, Oh, absolutely. And I think I mentioned earlier online that, if it took you 15, 20, or 30 years, I mean, either which way, it's an accomplishment that shows the dedication. So congratulations on that, Coach.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you, Bryce.
You mentioned a couple of weeks ago you being proud of the team, sort of overcoming some adversity to start the year, minimal returning starters, off the bat. I mean, I think we had two offensive players, starters back, and one on defense, if I recall correctly. Key injury to James Traynor midway through the season there, and as we wind down the season after this game on Friday, and it's looking like the playoffs are out of the picture here. What are some other things that kind of stick out to you about this year's team?
It's been a fun group to be around. They put pressure on themselves to go out and perform. Just like, you want that as a coach. You want them to hold themselves to a standard, and we're catching them at times of hey, we shouldn't be sloughing off here. We need to be working hard all the time and not taking plays off. So, you look at it, and there's a bunch of seniors, but then we've got a bunch of younger kids that are out here performing too. So, it's a good mix. The seniors. I'm reminding them, make sure that we're leading and we're guiding those younger kids. And yeah, there are times where we have to get after them a little bit, but we need to kind of groom them because they're going to be the leaders here in the future. So it's been an easy going group. Every team is a little bit different and has their own little niche and how they conduct themselves, how they handle themselves, and so it's been a fun group. The seniors, they even last week at the conclusion of the game, they were the first ones to be celebrating that accomplishment last week, and they got me with a Gatorade bath, and they were living it up. So that meant a lot. So they're going to be, every senior class, it's hard to say goodbye to them, but, they're just moving on to the next chapter of their lives. And, they've got bigger and better things happening after high school football and high school period. So it's been a fun group.
Good. Yeah. Every group, even though there's a mix of a lot of the same kids, they all got their own, each group seems to have a different personality. So that's always fun to see, I'm sure, from your perspective as well. So you got there's a tough hill to climb here, with this Lobo team this week. But again, this is high school football, and anything can happen week to week. I mean, we saw it last year, being a kind of a top-ranked team get sort of knocked off a little early, unexpected as well, against a team that we maybe didn't think they had a chance against. Anything can happen, especially maybe when you don't have anything to lose, right? So you've had a good momentum booster here with consecutive wins last week at Tri-State and against Richland. We're able to kind of control both games a bit, get points on the board, create some turnovers, and contain the scoring of the other team. What's kind of been the talk this week, and the guys and wanting to looking to try to contain this kind of high-powered offense in the Lobos?
And that's exactly referenced our conclusion of the season last year, and said nobody gave Nelson County a chance to come and beat us, and they didn't. So like you said, anything can happen. Let's go out and we can be the giant killer here and shock the entire state. LaMoure, they are a machine right now. Mm-hmm. They're playing awfully well. But even in saying that, Wyndmere put 40 points up on them last week. Yep. And, kind of exposed some things here a little bit that maybe we could take advantage of, or, some teams in the playoffs will definitely be watching that film to figure out what did Wyndmere do to score 40 on them, because it was they definitely haven't given up 40 points here this year. I don't think they'd given up 40 points combined in all their games prior to that, but they are, Coach Delabar, they're so well coached, and Coach Isaacson and Coach Hebel, they do a tremendous job. Their offensive line is solid. They move very efficiently. They know exactly where they're going and who they need to be blocking every play. It's fun to watch if you're not playing against them. And Gunnar Field he's their dude at running back, and he's setting school records left and right for them. And he's got great balance. He's got great patience as a running back. He's the real deal when it comes to running backs. And I think he's one of the best in the state, regardless of what level that they're playing at. And they just do all the little things right. Their defense is good. So, yeah, you mentioned a mountain to climb against these guys. I think that's a nice way of saying it, Bryce. But, like we said, we've got nothing to lose. Let's throw a few wrinkles in here this week and see if we can catch them off guard on a few things and just go out and play loose and have fun. Yeah, I said we need to tackle. If we start arm tackling, we're going to be in trouble here this week. But just go out. It's the last for these seniors, so they've got nothing to hold back on. And I said, go shock the whole state.
Yeah, always a pleasure getting an opportunity to see you and chat with you during this time of year. No matter the scoreboard or how this game turns out, I appreciate and the community appreciates here in Sargent County your dedication to these young guys and in these schools. And good luck here on Friday against the Lobos.
Well, and I said it before. I know I said it last year, Bryce, but having you, just your knowledge of the kids, the communities, of the program, it definitely makes the broadcast much more enjoyable, and just it means something to me of having you call our games and doing these interviews and just chatting with you. So I appreciate everything that you do for your live event and for Bulldogs football. So thank you, Bryce.
You bet. Thanks, Coach. We'll be back here with more pregame show after a word from our sponsors.
Sargent Central Public School, helping others create themselves, things, and opportunities. It's a home to a variety of wonderful opportunities, including a 24/7, 365 community wellness center, a 3rd through 12th grade smart lab, free pre-kindergarten, 1-to-1 student devices, and 12 weeks paid parental leave. For more information, please visit sargentcentral.org. Good luck, athletes, and good luck, Sargent County Bulldogs. Together is Central.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
All right, welcome back to Gainer Field here ahead of kickoff with the home team, the Sargent County Bulldogs, who are 4-3 on the season, taking on the perfect 7-0 and number 1 ranked LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos. Well, today in Milner, here at Gainer Field where we are playing today, the high temperature in Milner was about 66 degrees. Game time temperature just ahead of the game. Here is 58 degrees. We might get down to about 52 or so, 51 degrees by the end of the night. No precipitation, as it has been quite dry here the last month or so, and one of the warmest Septembers on record here as we roll into almost the middle part of October. Some other games going on around the state here in 9-man football. A few games locally from Regions 1 and Region 2. Up in Region 2, we've got Mayport CG taking on Richland. Another game that's on your live event, Maple River hosts Enderlin. And a game that I think a lot of people here in Region 1 are going to have their eyes out for. The 5-2 Wyndmere-Lidgerwood Warbirds will host the 6-1 Hankinson Pirates. Whichever team, I guess, wins here tonight will advance on to the playoffs. Up in Region 2, Griggs Dakota hosts Tri-State from Region 1. Richland, actually mentioned that earlier, Richland travels up to Mayport CG. A pair of 7-0 teams from Region 8 will battle it out as Linton HMB Strasburg-Zeeland hosts Central McLean in sort of a pseudo-regional title game. Both teams will be, I guess, they're on to the playoffs anyway. Both teams obviously 7-0. And the 7-0 West Hope Newburgh-Glenburg will host 5-2 Mohall Lansford Sherwood. And the 7-0 North Border will host the 5-2 Cavalier Tornadoes. Looking at the 11A division, Bishop Ryan will travel to take on Torrey to take on Ray Powers Lake. Oaks will host the ranked Central Cass Squirrels. And a series of games here also in 11A that you can catch on your live event. The Carrington Cardinals will host rugby. Hillsborough Central Valley makes a trip to the southwest to take on the Lisbon Broncos. Thompson will host the number 1 ranked Kindred Vikings. The Northern Cass Jaguars will host Ellendale Edgeley Column. And up in the AA division, a few games going on tonight. West Fargo Horace hosts Devils Lake. And Wahpeton hosts the number 1 ranked Grand Forks Red River.
Now for the starting defense.
As we look across the state in the polls, starting out in the 9-man class that we are have a game here tonight in the 9-man division. LaMoure-Litchville Marion, as we mentioned earlier, is ranked number 1. All these teams in the top 5 have a perfect 7-0 record. The number 2 team, New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock. Number 3, West Hope Newburgh Glenburn. Number 4, Linton HMB Strasburg-Zeeland. And number 5, Central McLean, all with a 7-0 record. The only other team receiving votes was the 7-0 North Border.
Number 17, Avery Kramer.
Tonight here in Milner, it is senior night, so they have honored the seniors here for the Sargent County Bulldogs. And at halftime, there will be a military appreciation night as well here on the last game of the regular season to honor our military active and veterans in our armed forces. So looking at the starting lineups here for these teams, as we hear the cannons go off here, as they're announcing the teams here as well. I'll sort of read off the starting lineups here. We'll start with the defense for LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos at on the offense. Or sorry, we'll go on the defense here. Sorry, the defensive line. They kind of run a 2-4 type of defense. So on the defensive line, a junior wearing number 54, you'll see Tucker Jones out there on the defensive line. A sophomore wearing number 81 will be Preston Art. Linebacker crew for the Lobos. We got a pair of seniors, number 23, Brian Carlgard, and number 28, Cale Hebel. A sophomore wearing number 33, Henry Lettenmeyer. And another senior in that core wearing number 34, Owen Lesko. In the cornerback positions, we will have a sophomore wearing number 3, Colby Thielgis, a junior wearing number 17, Avery Kramer, and a junior wearing number 4, Gunnar Thielgis. Looking over at the starting offense for the home team, the Sargent County Bulldogs. On the line at left guard, the senior Colin Olson. At center, wearing number 79, the senior Robert Munn. At right guard, a junior wearing number 56, Marcus Mathias. At the tight end position, a freshman wearing number 35, Harry Newstall. At the other tight end position, Jace Fury is a junior, junior wearing number 10. At the wide receiver positions, we've got a junior in Zabin Olafson. He'll be wearing number 12. And a wide receiver wearing number 84, Tristan Peterson. At the running back position in the backfield tonight, wearing number 1 will be the junior Ryan Ing, and the senior Michael Hoisted wearing number 9. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Our national anthem.
I love my decision. I love the smallness of it and how close everyone is. Some of my other friends went to a 4-year school, and I'm going to be done before them, even with 2 degrees and for a lot less money. My name's Casey, and I'm here for my future.
first week of college, I can't tell you how many friends I've made. It's a family, you know what I mean? Like every time I go to a meeting, like everyone knows my name. They're always kind to me. I love it. I can't explain how much I love it here. My name is Junior, and I'm here for my future.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
Let the geeks at GK Technology help you with your agricultural data. Their agronomists know agriculture. When it comes to creating soils and zone maps to maximize yields in your fields, you can trust the people with decades of experience in site-specific agriculture. Everyone at GK Technology has a background in agriculture, so they know what makes a farm run, and they speak your language. The geeks at GK Technology have a map and an app for that.
Hi, this is Jim, and along with Bernie, we're inviting R&J Broadcasting Incorporated listeners to join us on a tour of the Hawaiian Islands, February 22nd through March 3rd. The Big Island will be part of this trip, while taking in the breathtaking views of Oahu, the Big Island, and Maui. Enjoy the perfect balance between scheduled activities mixed with personal leisure time. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ to learn more about this tour, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
And we're just a few seconds away here from kickoff as LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos will kick it from north to south to Sargent County. Kicking the ball off is Logan Potts, the sophomore, and the ball gets to about the 20-yard line, and Hoisted will throw it over to Ing on the far left side, and able to pick up a few extra yards on it. He'll get down right around the 34-yard line, and that is where the Bulldogs will take over.
First and 10 Bulldogs from their own 35-yard line.
Sargent County tonight with junior Logan Bope, normally starting, is out for the game on an injury, and some limited play time from James Trainer, the senior running back. As the Bulldogs line up with a receiver on the left and a receiver on the right, Ing in the backfield with Hoisted, and a hard count. He'll take the snap, hands the ball off to Ing. Ing will have a little bit of room on the right side, bounces around a few folks, but does not get very far before he is wrapped up by a whole pack of Lobos on that one. In on that play, Gunnar Thiel just was wearing number 4. Owen Lesko, number 34, was in on that one as well. And the Bulldogs will pick up about a yard on the play, making it 2nd and 9 here early in the first. As the Bulldogs break the huddle, they'll have 2 receivers off to the left, 2 receivers off to the right. Charlie Hogness, the sophomore, in the backfield with Hoisted, and the ball is snapped to Hoisted. Hoisted throws the ball off to his left. He's got Peterson, and that'll be enough for a first down for Sargent County. And the second play in, the Bulldogs are able to advance, getting the ball to around the 49-yard line on their side of the field. Tristan Peterson, the sophomore wide receiver, standing at 6'1", 170 pounds on the grab as he checks out of the game. And Coach Olson relays the play over to Hoisted. As they come up to the line of scrimmage in an I formation with Hognes and Ing in the backfield. And off to the far left, they've got a wide receiver. They'll hand the ball off to Ing, and Ing is met right away by a group of Bulldogs for no gain on the play, making it second, maybe a short, very short loss. We'll still call it 2nd and 10 here. As Hognes checks out of the game. And the Bulldogs are going to spread things out over here a little bit. They've got trips off to the far left, twins to the right. And shotgun snap to Hoisted. There's pressure and can't quite, doesn't have time. Intended receiver on that play was Jace Fury, but Hoisted was met by a handful of Lobos on that play. As Fury will come out and Charlie Hognes back into the game. And the Bulldogs will break the huddle with Hognes in the backfield and twins to the left and twins to the right with 3 men on the line. Hoisted's got a receiver, and once again, Tristan Peterson, but he's not able to hold on to the ball. And that'll be incomplete, and the Bulldogs will have a 4th and 10 here with 9:34 to go as the clock stops on the incomplete pass. And the punt team will come in. Bulldogs, the ball is spotted on about the 48.5-yard line. It looked like on that one play, Ing had maybe lost a half a yard. And Hoisted will be back to punt the ball. And it's a good snap. Decent punt. Hits the ground at about the 31-yard line. And Degenstein will be in there to field the ball. And they will mark it right around the 31-yard line. So the Lobos taking the field here for the first time. Gunnar Thielgis potentially could break a record here tonight. His cousin actually has a season record for yards. The last game of the year, or last week against Marion-Lidgerwood, he racked up over 500 total yards. And Gunnar Thielgis will be the one that gets the ball. And he'll get a nice gain here on first down, about 5 yards, making it 2nd and 5 for the Lobos. And the Lobos will line up in an I formation with one receiver off to the far right. That's Colby Thielgis, the wide receiver on the far side. And the ball will go to Gunnar up the middle, and he will get across for a first down for LaMoure-Litchville Marion. He'll get to about the 45-yard line. They'll mark him down right at the 45, and it'll be a fresh set of downs for the Lobos. Once again, the Lobos are lining up in an I formation. Colby Thielgis here on the near side. And they'll pitch the ball to Gunnar Thielgis on the far right side, and is not quite wrapped up, able to keep on his feet before he's pushed out of bounds. And he will get about 8 yards before he touches the out of bounds there, bringing up 2nd and 2, maybe even a yard here to go. Might have been close to 9 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 1. And Warwick will keep it, throw it deep downfield, and he's got a man. It's Thielgis into the end zone for a touchdown. Colby Thielgis. The connection from Mason Workin, the sophomore quarterback. Good for about 46 yards, and the Lobos will get 6 points on the board. Oh, let's see. They will get 6 points on the board, so they'll line up for a 2-point conversion. I formation. Colby Thielgis on the far right side there. And he'll look to pass the ball. And he's got a man and is able to get into the end zone for 2 extra points. That was Cale Hebel. And just like that, the Lobos are up on top of the Bulldogs 8-0. We'll be back in just a minute.
Grain understands that agriculture is your livelihood, and we're committed to providing you with the highest quality of services to meet your farming needs. Milner Grain has a passion for our community and the farmers we serve. Milner Grain is locally owned and operated. When you're looking for a partner in the field, look to Milner Grain. Call 701-427-5284 or check out Milner Grain's app with current up-to-date prices. Milner Grain is here to help you and your farm grow.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
And back here at Gaynor Field after Colby Thielgis caught a touchdown pass for 46 yards from Mason Workin. And the Lobos are set to kick it off. They are on the north side, kicking it south to Sargent County. And the ball is away off to the right side as the Bulldogs' Ryan Ing is going to catch the ball, and he is going to bring it past the 40-yard line before he goes out of bounds. And the Bulldogs will start again here with pretty decent field position. We will see where they end up spotting it. Looks to be right around the 41-yard line. And the Bulldogs will spread things out a little bit here with 2 receivers off to the near side, 1 to the far side, and 1 in somewhat of a flanker type position with 1 in the backfield with Hoisted. And the Lobos are showing blitz, and they do. Hoisted able to get the ball off, and it is a catch. Tristan Peterson comes up with the catch again, and the Bulldogs will get about 7 yards on the play, bringing up 2nd and 3 for Sargent County as they approach the 50-yard line. Bulldogs in the same formation as last play. And Lobos showing potential blitz again here. Ball goes over to Hoisted, looks off to his right. He's got Ing again, and Ing has got enough for a first down as he makes a few people miss, and the Lobos try to strip the ball, but Ing able to hold on to it. And Ing will get to around the 47-yard line, and it'll be first down for Sargent County. And the clock continues to run here, 7:01 to go here in the first. If you happen to miss the first few minutes of the game, Sargent County did receive the ball first. were able to get a couple of first downs on the play before having to turnover on downs. They punted the ball away, and a couple plays in, the Lobos were able to find Colby Thielgis for a 46-yard touchdown as Hoisted hoists the ball up. And is the ball intercepted? They are going to call that a catch. Sorry, an interception. And it looks like on that play for the Lobos, able to catch the ball, Avery Kramer back there, able to get the interception as there was a lot of pressure on Hoisted. He was hit as he was throwing the ball. The ball was tipped, and just great awareness for the football there for number 17, Avery Kramer, the junior. And just like that, the Lobos have the ball back. And in I formation, they're going to send Colby Thielgis out in motion back to the left side. And they'll hand the ball off to the fullback up the middle. I'm sorry, that was the halfback. That was Gunnar Thielgis on the run. And Gunnar is able to pick up about 6 yards on the play, making it 2nd and 4 as the clock continues. And spreading it out this time a little bit here, Brian Karlgaard is normally on the tight end position. He's way out here on the near side of the screen. And they've got 2 other wide receivers off to the right with Gunnar Thielgis, I believe, spread out as well. And the ball's going to go to Gunnar, and he's able to catch the ball right around the 36-yard line, able to get a few more yards there before he is downed right around the 31-yard line, and it'll be another first down for the Lobos. Looks like they'll back the ball up a little bit there. They'll place it right around just past the 33-yard line. And they'll hand the ball off to Thielgis up the middle, and he's got room, and he is gone. Gunnar Thielgis found a hole, and there was nobody that was going to catch him. And the Lobos will put another 6 points on the board here, a little over halfway through the first quarter. So Gunnar Thielgis with a 33-yard touchdown as they'll line up for 2. And they'll have one in the backfield with Workin. And Workin will look to his left, and he's got a man in the end zone. And they will convert, making it 16-0 here with 5 minutes and 8 seconds to go. And we'll be back here in just a minute.
The Sargent Central Dollars for Scholars chapter is a nonprofit foundation that supports academic success in the community. The mission is to mobilize the community on behalf of post-secondary education success for the students. Dollars for Scholars chapters help hometown students achieve their educational goals by raising scholarship funds, establishing endowments, and more. For more information, scan the QR code on screen or stop by the Sargent Central School District. Tonight's sponsors for the Sargent Central Dollars for Scholars is the Fody family and Anderson Seed Farm.
Sargent Central Public School, helping others create themselves, things, and opportunities. It's a home to a variety of wonderful opportunities, including a 24/7, 365 community wellness center, a 3rd through 12th grade smart lab, free pre-kindergarten, 1-to-1 student devices, and 12 weeks paid parental leave. For more information, please visit sargentcentral.org. Good luck, athletes, and good luck, Sargent County Bulldogs. Together is Central.
Back here at Gaynor Field, after a Gunnar Thielgis 33-yard touchdown run and a 2-point conversion, was successful, and that was Brian Karlgaard on the reception for the 2-point conversion. And the Lobos will kick it off, and the ball will skip out of bounds, which will be a penalty. The Bulldogs will get the ball placed probably right around the 35-yard line, if that rule, depending on where it went out. And the officials talking with Olson on the protocol there. So they will place the ball on the 35-yard line on the near side of the hash. And the Bulldogs lining up with one receiver to the left, one receiver to the right. And Hoisted will keep the ball. And the Lobos are right there. Hoisted will lose a yard or two on the play. We'll call it a loss of 2, bringing up 2nd and 12 for the Bulldogs. As the Bulldogs break in a similar formation here with Tristan Peterson off to the far side. On the near side here, wearing number 12 is Zabin Olafson. And a low snap. Hoisted just falls on it to try and save a turnover there. And it'll be 3rd and long for Sargent County. That'll be a loss of about 4 or 5 yards on the play. And the Bulldogs will be looking at a 3rd and 16, we'll call it. And the Bulldogs spreading it out here with just 3 men on the line. And the Lobos are going to kind of show blitz from their linebacking core, as they do. And Hoisted just did not have the ability to get a good position on, or good footing or look at any of the wide receivers there. The Lobos, 2 men on the line, but their series of linebackers across the board got good size on them. Looking at that linebacking core here for the LaMoure-Litchville Lobos. Brian Carlgard at 6'3", 190 pounds. Cale Hebel, another one at 185, 6'3". Just a couple of big kids right there up the middle. Not to mention Henry Lettenmeyer, that number 33, and Owen Lesko, 34. And it'll be a pretty decent punt here. And the the Sargent County Bulldogs will down that one right around the 33. We'll see where it ends up coming in here on the field. Gets a little bit hard to see on these Friday night lights where exactly the lines are, so bear with me a little bit there. But it looks like they will place it, yes, right around the 33. And that is where the Lobos will take over on their 3rd possession here of the game, scoring on the first 2. As they line up in their pretty typical I formation with field just here to the near side. And they'll they'll hand the ball off up the middle. And that is their fullback, Cale Hebel, number 28, advancing the ball about another 6 yards, 5 to 6 yards, along 5, we'll call it, maybe 6. 2nd and 4 for the Lobos. And they'll hand the ball off to Thiel just in the middle, and is able to stay on his feet. He'll get close to a first down, but he'll be a little bit short by the looks of it where they've got him placed. And about a half yard to go, so 3rd and very short here for LaMoure-Litchville Marion. And Morgan will keep the ball. And forward progress will probably get him the first down before he's pushed back. So that'll be a first down again for LaMoure-Litchville Marion. On the offensive side of the ball for the Lobos, under center, I maybe didn't mention it earlier, under center, the sophomore wearing number 11, Mason Workin. In the backfield, the fullback standing at 6'3", 185 pounds is Cale Hebel wearing number 28. And, of course, you saw earlier that dynamic junior who stands 6 foot tall, wearing number 4, Gunnar Thielgis. And they'll give Gunnar the ball again, and he'll just make room as he advances for another first down. Gunnar Thielgis, it just looks easy for him. He's quite an athlete, set to kind of break some records here. Colby Thielgis is at that wide receiver position wearing number 3, as we'd pointed out earlier, had the first touchdown of the game. And on the offensive line, wearing number 81, Preston Arndt. Number 54, it's a junior at 5'10", 190 pounds, Tucker Jones. And also on the line, a junior wearing number 52, Gavin Christensen, at 220 and 5'9". And they'll hand the ball off. This time the ball will go to number 17, Avery Kramer. And Kramer will pick up about 3, making it 2nd and 7 for the Lobos. And on the bookends of the offensive line, we can't forget about our tight ends. Wearing number 23, weighing 190, Brain Karlgaard. He scored that 2-point conversion on the last play. And another senior on the opposite side, tight end position, wearing number 24, Owen Lesko. And a quick pass over to Colby Thiel just on the far side. And it is complete. And he'll pick up a few more yards before getting tackled by Peterson. And it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Lobos. As the clock continues with 31 seconds, they do have to get a play off here as the play clock is about 2 seconds ahead. So we'll have at least one more play here before the second quarter. And Workin will hand the ball off to Thielgis, and he will take off and blow through that Bulldog defense and get that first down for the Lobos. And there is a penalty flag. And there's a holding on offense, so that'll actually bring them back. Good break for Sargent County. And that'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And the spot of the foul appears to be right around the 30, so they'll place the ball right at the 40. And that'll be a 3rd and 11 for the Lobos as the officials place the ball there on the far hash. So it'll remain in the first quarter here. 4 seconds left to go. As they'll line up in a shotgun. Workin takes a snap, and he's going to hand the ball off to Thielgis. Thielgis able to make some room and just plows through the defense before he's able to get down. And it takes a few men to get that kid down. Thielgis they'll mark the ball right around the 26-yard line. And that'll do it here for the first quarter. We'll be back here in just a minute.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us. The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
Back here at Gaynor Field in the Stock Growers broadcast booth, Stock Growers Bank is your small town bank and big time partner. With Stock Growers Bank mobile app, experience banking at your fingertips. Anytime, anywhere. Bank near so you can go far with Stock Growers Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Well, the Lobos did pick up a first down on the play, so it'll be a fresh set of downs for the Lobos, and they will have the ball inside the 30. As Workin takes the snap, good snap. He's got a little time and a man downfield, and he's got it in the end zone for a touchdown. Number 34, Owen Lesko on the grab, and that'll be another one in the end zone for the Lobos. And they'll set up to go for two. They've got everybody sort of in the box here. And he'll take the snap, pitch it to the outside, and that is Gunnar Thielgis, and Gunnar Thielgis will get into the end zone for 2 more points. And the Lobos on top of Sargent County, 24-0 here with 11:54 to go. We'll be back in just a minute.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota. Anderson.
Back here at Gaynor Field, just got going here in the first play of the second quarter as the Lobos are able to put 8 more points on the board here right at the end of, the beginning of the quarter, and they'll set to kick off. Owen Lesko with the reception from Workin. And it'll be kind of a squib kick, and the Bulldogs will able to get their hands on it. That's Charlie Hogness, able to keep his hands on the ball on, I'm not sure if that was an intentional squib kick or not, but the Bulldogs able to snag the ball and get good field position here to start off their drive. And the Bulldogs will spread things out again here. 3 men on the line. 2 receivers off to the left, 2 to the right. And I believe Hogness in the backfield with Hoisted. And they'll send a man in motion off to the left, off to the right. And Peterson able to get the quick out pass, but they're going to lose a few yards on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12 for Sargent County, as they went from the 49 on one side to the 49 on the other. And spreading things out here again, same formation as last. And almost draw them off sides with a hard count, but they were able to stake back, and That pass is batted down immediately. And Cale Hebel able to get his hands up. And if you're at that middle linebacker position at 6'3", that can cause some problems for a quarterback for just seeing downfield anywhere. The pressure, just trying to get the ball high enough in order to get over his head. And the Lobos will make it 3rd and 12 here for Sargent County. And this time Sargent County's got trips off to the right and one receiver here to the near side, as it's a low snap, and the ball will be down. As the snap was low, Hoisted had to kind of bend down to get that ball, and his knee had just touched the ground. And so in high school football or college football, that is a down. So it'll be 4th and nearly 20, 18, I suppose, for Sargent County. 4th and 18 as the clock continues to wind with 10:37 to go here in the second quarter. And Hoisted also the quarterback and the punter. And Gunnar Thielgis is set to deep back to receive. And it looks like the Bulldogs are going to fake it, and Hoisted throws the ball a bit over the head of Peterson, and the Lobos will take over on downs here with 10:17 to go. As mentioned earlier, Thielgis looking to break a potential record, getting a number here. This was at least off of Delabar's head when I talked to him earlier in the week here. 539 yards of offense for Gunnar Thielgis, and he wasn't sure if it was a total school record, but it kind of almost had to be. We'll call it the unofficial official record for Thielgis last week against Wyndmere-Lidgerwood. As the Lobos are splitting a wide receiver to the left, wide receiver to the right, but they'll give the ball up the middle to Thielgis, Gunnar Thielgis. And he'll pick up a decent gain on the play of about 4 yards. So we'll go 2nd and 6 here for the Lobos. So he's also potentially creeping up on his cousin Brady Thielgis' record for most yards in a single season. Once again, Coach Delabar wasn't quite sure exactly how much he had to go here. So we may find out if they stop it here or not to sort of honor that single season record. As Workin will drop back to pass, and he's got a man downfield again, and that is caught, and he'll get into the end zone for another touchdown. That is Brian Karlgaard with the grab. And 6 more points will go on the board, making it 30-0 here with 9:27 to go in the second quarter. And they'll line up to go for 2. They've got Thielgis in the backfield, and they'll give the ball to him. And actually able to get a good stop there is Hogness, and the conversion is no good, so we'll keep the score 30-0 here with 9:27 to go in the second quarter. We'll be back in just a minute.
Incorporated is your local LG Seeds and Dairyland seed dealership. They offer the latest traits and genetics in both corn and soybeans along with alfalfa. Anderson Seed Farms is also a certified seed conditioning plant that grows, conditions, and sells Westbred spring wheat seed, which was the top grown spring wheat in North Dakota last year. If you'd like to know more about these industry-leading products, contact Anderson Seed Farms in Foreman at 701-724-3601 or check out AndersonSeedFarms.com.
Sargent Central Public School, helping others create themselves, things, and opportunities. It's a home to a variety of wonderful opportunities, including a 24/7, 365 community wellness center, a 3rd through 12th grade smart lab, free pre-kindergarten, 1-to-1 student devices, and 12 weeks paid parental leave. For more information, please visit sargentcentral.org. Good luck, athletes, and good luck, Sargent County Bulldogs. Together is Central.
And back here at Gaynor Field, after a Brian Karlgaard touchdown reception from Workin of about 25 yards, and the Bulldogs are set to receive. And Logan Potts will kick the ball off, low to the ground, and the Bulldogs will fall on that one again. And that was number 22, Jacob Creech.
Creech on the return.
And they'll mark the ball just across the 35-yard line, I believe. We'll call it 36-yard line. As the Bulldogs are going to line up in an I with Olafson to the near side here. And they'll hand the ball to Ing. Ing will wait for an opening. He's able to find a small opening before he is tackled on the play by Owen Lesko. And Ing will pick up 2 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 8 for Sargent County. And once again, same formation. They've got him in an I. Olafson here is to the near side. Hogness and Ing are behind Hoisted. And they'll hand the ball off to Hogness up the middle. And able to get a very short gain on the play. Maybe a 1 yard will be 3rd and 7 to go for Sargent County. As Hoisted takes the ball, play call in here from Coach Olson. And the Bulldogs appear to be lining up in an I once again, this time with the receiver off to the far side. And they'll pitch the ball off to Ing, and they'll fake a pitch. Looked like they were almost going to run a reverse. Olafson was there to potentially grab a reverse play there, but Ing will keep the ball, and Ing will get back to about the line of scrimmage, and maybe a half yard past that or so. It'll still remain 4th and 7 for Sargent County, and it looks like they'll keep in most of their offense here, so I would venture to guess down 30-0 here in the second that potentially the Bulldogs may go for this one. And it looks like they will, so they've got 2 receivers off to the near side here, one to the far right, and Charlie Hogness is in the backfield with Hoisted. And Hoisted's going to look to his right, and the ball once again batted down with those long arms of that LaMoure-Litchville Marion defense, and that'll be a turnover on downs. And the Lobos once again will get pretty decent field position here with 7:07 to go in the second quarter. So the ball will be down right around the 39-yard line is where the Lobos will take over on the Bulldog side of the field. And Lobos lined up kind of tight, 2 in almost a, I would almost call it a flanker type of position, and the tight end is looking to make a route, and he will. And the ball goes deep. It's into the hands of Lesko, and that'll be 2nd down and 10 here for for the Lobos. As the Lobos break the huddle, Colby Thiel just on the far side, lined up in the wide receiver position. And on the near side here, Cale Hebel. And in the shotgun, they'll hand the ball off to Gunnar Thielgis, and Gunnar will take the ball around the right side. And he is brought down by Degenstein on that one. And it'll be 3rd and about 3.5 yards to go as they pick up a nice gain, but not quite enough for a first down. So I think he may have gone out of bounds. Tackled out of bounds, so the play clock will stop. And this time they're lined up in the I. And they'll hand the ball off to Gunnar on the middle left side, and Gunnar's got enough for a first down. And the Lobos will have a fresh set of downs, and they'll be inside the 25-yard line. They'll place the ball right around the 24. And the Lobos will spread things out just a little bit here. Brian Karlgaard and Gunnar Thiel just here on the right side, and Colby on the left. And he'll roll to his right. He'll throw the ball to his left, and that's number 81, Preston Arndt, and he's got room around the left side. And he'll get close to the goal line inside the 5, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Lobos.
First down, Lobos. Ball at the Bulldog 3.
The Lobos traditionally keeping things kind of tight in the middle. Spread things out here heavy on the right side and able to come up with kind of a sneaky play there as Preston Arndt able to catch the ball in the backfield, the sophomore, as he rolls around to his left. So ball inside the 5-yard line, and they'll hand the ball off up the middle. That is number 28, Cale Hebel. And he will get into the end zone, so that'll put 6 more points up on the board as Hebel gets a touchdown here. And assuming that the Lobos are going to go for 2 here again, and they are. They've got one receiver spread out to the far left side, one to the right, one in the backfield here. And it's a direct snap, actually, to Gunnar Thielgis, and he'll hand the ball off. And he'll get into the end zone for 2 more points. And I believe that was Lesko on the play. So 38 here, 38-0. 5:53 to go in the first half. We'll be back in a minute.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
I love my decision. I love the smallness of it and how close everyone is. Some of my other friends went to a 4-year school, and I'm gonna be done before them, even with 2 degrees and for a lot less money. My name's Casey, and I'm here for my future.
First week of college, I can't tell you how many friends I've made. It's a family, you know what I mean? Like every time I go to a meeting, like everyone knows my name. They're always kind to me. I love it. I can't explain how much I love it here. My name is Junior, and I'm here for my future.
At Enbridge, we're
back here at Gaynor Field. 38 for the Lobos, 0 for the home Sargent County Bulldogs. And we're getting to witness tonight here why that number 1 rank in the state of 9-man football is showing all what it should be here tonight. as the Lobos managing to put a lot of points here on the board, and they'll kick the ball off, and it'll be fielded inside the 30 and brought to just on the on the other side of the 30-yard line, further on the run, and Sargent County will have 1st and 10 to go here. 5:48 to go in the first half. At halftime, be sure to stick around for some scores, updates here from around the state in both 9-man and 11A. Military Appreciation Night here in Milner at halftime, so they'll be honoring past and present members of our armed forces. As Peterson goes in motion, Hoisted will keep the ball up the middle, find a little bit of room, and able to pick up a nice gain on the play. Won't be enough for a first down, but he'll get about 8 or so on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 2 for Sargent County. Ball is just before the 40-yard line. As the Bulldogs have got Peterson here to the near side. I believe Olafson off to the right, and it'll be a keeper, and it'll be enough for a first down as Hoisted able to power his way through for plenty of yards to get that first down, and much needed first down here for Sargent County. And the Bulldogs will line up in a shotgun formation, one to the left, one to the right. Hoisted looks around both sides of the field and is able to have a little bit of time back here. And he'll just keep the ball and maybe get close to the line of scrimmage. The ball might have come loose, but they'll call him down here. And he'll lose maybe a yard on the play, bringing up 2nd and 11 for Sargent County. And Bulldogs again in a similar formation with Ing back there with Hoisted. Wide receiver to the left and right, and Hoisted's going to keep the ball. And met by that defense behind the line of scrimmage, and he'll lose about a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd and about 12. Same formation as the last few plays here. One to the left, one to the right. Ing in the backfield with Hoisted. And the Lobos showing a potential blitz. And the ball once again batted behind the line of scrimmage. And Hoisted's pass will drop incomplete. I couldn't quite see. I believe that was maybe Karlgaard in the back. They're getting his hands up and batting that ball down, not allowing Hoisted to get anywhere with that football. And that's been a struggle here tonight. This defensive crew has done a great job getting their hands up when that ball is winding back and about to sail. They know exactly where they need to be, and Good coaching there on the side of the Lobos and good awareness by the players. As the Bulldogs have got twins left, twins right. And Hoisted has got to throw it high, and Fury is off here on the other side. And that fourth down will turn the ball over, and the Lobos will take over here with 2:30 to go. And we'll get right to it here as the Lobos are going to spread things out a little bit. 2 off left, 2 to the right. And Workin able to find Gunnar Thiel just on the right side. And Gunnar is able to get past the 40-yard line and bring about 5 yards on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 5. And they've got a similar formation here again with Workin in the shotgun. He'll drop back to pass. And downfield, and the ball sails. There wasn't a few guys. There was a few guys in the area. Carl Gard was one of them. And what looked like could have been Lesko down there as well. I'm not sure who the intended receiver was, but we've got 3rd and 5. And the Lobos will spread things out a little bit here again. Colby and Gunnar Thiel just on the near side. Carl Gard on the left. And the ball will go over to Gunnar Thielgis. And Thielgis able to get past the first down marker and more before he gets out of bounds right around the 24-yard line. They'll mark it at about the 23. And it'll be a fresh set of downs. And this time they've got the whole pack of Lobos close by, and they'll hand the ball off to the right side. That's Colby Thielgis. And Colby is brought down after a short gain. And Degenstein able to get him down.
Short gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Able to get about a yard or 2 on the play. We'll call it 2 yards. 2nd and 8 for the for the Lobos. As the Lobos are in right around the 21-yard line. Colby Thiel just off to the far side. And Hebel and Gunnar in the backfield. And they'll roll around, pass the ball off to the right. They've got Brian Carlgard. And Carlgard will advance the ball a little bit farther. A little bit short of the first down. Got about a yard to go, 3rd and 1. And the Lobos will spread it out again here. They got 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. Hebel in the backfield. And pressure, and the Bulldogs have got a sack.
Sacked by the Bulldogs. Yoakum coming through.
Jackson Yoakum was the one that had got him down, had a little bit of help from the rest of the defense. And the Lobos are going to call a timeout on a 4th and 9. Our timeouts are brought to you by Bank North. Good sportsmanship is a valuable trait that goes far beyond the game. For Bank North, it's achieved by helping their customers pursue their dreams and financial goals while supporting and improving the great rural communities around them. It's values-based banking. To learn more, visit ibanknorth.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. 43 seconds to go here in the half. Stick around for the halftime show here on your live event. We'll bring some score updates in from around the state in 9-man and 11-man football. We'll check in on that Wyndmere-Lidgerwood-Hankinson game, vying for that playoff spot here as each region this year a little bit different from last year. Last year there were 4 regions and 4 teams advanced from each region to playoffs. This year they kind of split each region up in half, so each region is going to have 2 representatives. And the ball sails deep, and he's got Gunnar Thiel just in the end zone for a touchdown on a 4th and 9 from about the 21-yard line. They are able to score, and Gunnar Thiel just reels in another touchdown. And the Lobos have get 6 more on the board, bringing the score to 44-0. And on the 2-point conversion, they get the ball off, and Thiel just is going to keep it. They faked. And he will get into the end zone, right into the corner next to the pylon. And they had kind of set that one up to make it look like it could be a reverse to Colby. But Gunnar holds on, and they'll put 2 more points on the board. We'll be back here in just a minute.
Relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge-Athabasca pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District.
Back here at Gaynor Field, after a Thiel just touchdown and Thiel just 2-point conversion. Gunnar, that is. There are a couple Thiel justs here on the team. Gunnar Thiel just with the 21-yard touchdown and then a 2-point conversion running as well. And that's going to be Ing. Ing's got the ball. He's got some room and able to break through and find some seams there to get to right around midfield. He'll get down at around 49-yard line, where Sargent County will take over on their side of the field. And the Bulldogs will have a new drive. So we'll see what they can do here before halftime to try to put a few points on the board and have a little something going into halftime here. So the Bulldogs are going to spread things out. They've got Ing and Fury and I believe Olafson on the far side. And on the near side, Peterson with Hoisted and Hogness in the backfield, and they bring pressure, and once again, that ball is batted down. Hoisted has had a hard time trying to get the ball anywhere over the hands of this Lobo defense, and they're proving how difficult it is for any of these teams to get any points on the board. On the air, they've got their hands up high, ready to bat down any of the passes, and on the run game, these linebackers are able to fly to the ball and fill any gap that's there for any of the backs. Bulldogs spreading things out once more here. They've got 2 receivers to the far left and 2 to the left and 2 receivers to the far right. As the snap is a little low, Hoisted just tries to get rid of the ball and pass is incomplete. That's Tristan Peterson on the attempt. I'm not sure if he would have landed inbounds or not if he was able to get his hands on the ball. Either which way is an incomplete pass. And 16 seconds to go here in the first half. Bulldogs spreading things out again. 2 left, 2 right. And Hoisted will keep the ball. And getting a hand on of him. Able to salvage a couple of yards on the play. And that clock will continue to wind unless the Bulldogs decide to call a timeout here.
Gain of 4 on the play brings up 4th and 6 for the Bulldogs.
And that'll bring us to halftime. From Gaynor Field at half, we have the number 1 ranked LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos 46 and the Sargent County Bulldogs 0. We'll hit a few sponsors here and get back for a pregame show, halftime show, where we'll go through some scores from around the state of North Dakota football. And we'll be back in just a minute.
K12.nd.us.
Let the geeks at GK Technology help you with your agricultural data. Their agronomists know agriculture. When it comes to creating soils and zone maps to maximize yields in your fields, you can trust the people with decades of experience in site-specific agriculture. Everyone at GK Technology has a background in agriculture, so they know what makes a farm run, and they speak your language. The geeks at GK Technology have a map and an app for that.
Hi, this is Jim, and along with Bernie, we're inviting R&J Broadcasting Incorporated listeners to join us on a tour of the Hawaiian Islands, February 22nd through March 3rd. The Big Island will be part of this trip while taking in the breathtaking views of Oahu, the Big Island, and Maui. Enjoy the perfect balance between scheduled activities mixed with personal leisure time. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ to learn more about this tour, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
Milner Grain understands that agriculture is your livelihood, and we're committed to providing you with the highest quality of services to meet your farming needs. Milner Grain has a passion for our community and the farmers we serve. Milner Grain is locally owned and operated. When you're looking for a partner in the field, look to Milner Grain. Call 701-427-5284 or check out Milner Grain's app with current up-to-date prices. Milner Grain is here to help you and your farm grow.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
The Sargent Central Dollars for Scholars chapter is a nonprofit foundation that supports academic success in the community. The mission is to mobilize the community on behalf of post-secondary education success for the students. Dollars for Scholars chapters help hometown students achieve their educational goals by raising scholarship funds, establishing endowments, and more. For more information, scan the QR code on screen or stop by the Sargent Central School District. Tonight's sponsors for the Sargent Central Dollars for Scholars is the Fody family and Anderson Seed Farm.
Sargent Central Public School, helping others create themselves things and opportunities. It's home to a variety of wonderful opportunities, including a 24/7, 365 community wellness center, a 3rd through 12th grade smart lab, free pre-kindergarten, 1-to-1 student devices, and 12 weeks paid parental leave. For more information, please visit sargentcentral.org. Good luck, athletes, and good luck, Sargent County Bulldogs. Together is Central.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us. The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
Back here at Gaynor Field at halftime here. Tonight is Military Appreciation Night here at Gaynor Field on the last game of the year, as well as Parents and Senior Night. So doing a little representation here for some of the active and retired military. Just a shout out here. I guess there's a few kids that are on the field on both sides here. Be sure to kind of announce those guys here after a bit. But we will go on to give a little summary of the game so far. All Lobos in the first quarter. Pair of touchdowns here for the Lobos. Each Thiel just gets into the end zone with 8:06 to go in the first. A pass from Workin to Colby Thiel just for 46 yards. And Hebel pass for the two-point pass to Hebel for the two-point conversion, making it 8-0 in the second quarter. In the first quarter with 5:08 to go. The Lobos are able to hand the ball off to Gunnar Thiel just for a 33-yard run into the end zone, and a pass to Carl Gard for a successful two-point conversion, making it 16-0. On to the second quarter, the first play of the second quarter. At the 11:54 mark, the Lobos are able to get into the end zone again. This time, a pass from Workin to Lesko for 28 yards, and Gunnar Thiel just ran it in for two more, making it 24-0. A couple of minutes later, with 9:27 to go, a pass downfield for 25 yards to Carl Gard, and the extra two-point conversion was no good there, keeping the score 30-0. Later on, with 5:53 to go, the Lobos are able to get into the end zone again with a run by Hebel for about 4 yards, and Lesko punches it in for a two-point conversion, making it 38-0. And again, with just a little over a half a minute to go in the half, Gunnar Thiel just is able to punch it in again here from a pass from Workin for about 21 yards, and then he ran in again for a two-point conversion, making it 46-0, and that is where we sit here at half. So honoring a few people out here on the field tonight. On the Lobo side, going into the military, I'm not sure exactly what branch, but for LaMoure-Litchville, Marion, Jake Kramer, that senior, is enlisting in the armed forces. And on the Bulldog side, Marshall Weigelt is enlisted as well as Wyatt Degenstein. And great way to honor these kids here serving our country, as well as family members of each one of the teams here. We see brothers and sisters out here, parents, grandparents of players and coaches, and great to see them honor the people that defend our country. So hats off to all of you that are out here on the field, as well as those listening from home and across the country. We thank you for your services. Looking around the state of North Dakota here for some scores, I guess, that are going on this evening. We'll start out in 9-man football. We'll read off a couple of scores that have been submitted in here. So starting with 9-man, the number 2 ranked New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock is ahead of Hatton Northwood 47-8. Dakota on top of Tri-State 30-0. Mayport CG on top of Richland 26-0 at the end of the first half. And at halftime, up at the Hope Page High School, Maple River on top of Enderlin 24-0. And a game I know you all are probably from the area have got your eye on. We knew it was going to be a good one. It's a battle for that playoff spot here in Region 1. Wyndmere-Lidgerwood and Hankinson are all knotted up 8-8 here at halftime. So exciting game going on over just 15 miles to the east here at the Wyndmere High School. Other scores around the state in 9-man football. The 4th and 5th ranked teams are playing each other, both from Region 8. That's the region to the west of Region 1 here. 24 points on the board right now for Linton HMB Strasburg-Zeeland and 8 for Central McLean at the end of the first half. Nelson County on top of LaMoure 12-6 with 3 minutes left to go in the first. Cavalier in a close game at halftime up against North Border. They've got a 16-14 lead up at the North Border High School at the moment. South Border on top of Kidder County 28-6 at the end of the first half. Napoleon Gackle Streeter 30-8. It looks like they have started the second half here 30-8 over New Salem Almont. The number 3 ranked West Hope Newburgh Glenburn is on top of Mohall Lansford Sherwood 38-20 at the halftime mark. Looking over at some of the 11A games, Bottineau and Grafton are battling it out right now. Up in Grafton, the score is 35 Bottineau, 12 Grafton. The number 3 ranked Bishop Ryan is on top of Ray Powers Lake 20-7. And over to the northwest here, about 25 miles, Lisbon is on top of Hillsborough Central Valley 7-6. The number 1 ranked Kindred Vikings are on top of Thompson right now at the beginning of the third quarter, 28-0. Carrington and Rugby are playing up in Carrington right now. Carrington's got a 21-6 lead. Number 4 ranked Killdeer is on top of Beulah 48-14. Langdon area Edmore Munich is that game. It looks like it is. I'm showing that it's a final score of 21-6. And Central Cass, the 5th ranked team in 11A, is on top of Oaks 21-0. They're playing over at Oaks right now. And Northern Cass is hosting Ellendale Edgeley Cullum. Ellendale Edgeley Cullum has a 14-6 lead here at halftime. In the AA division, West Fargo Horace on top of actually beating, did come up, looks like it's a final score. I'm showing a final score of 42-0 against Devils Lake. Knotted up right now with 1 minute left to go is Grand Forks Central against Fargo South. All tied up at 24 with a minute left to go in the game. We'll see how that one ends. Valley City on top of Watford City, 20-12 with 4 minutes left to go in the third. Minot North on top of Dickinson, 21-7 at halftime. And Wahpeton has a 2-point lead over Grand Forks Red River, 14-12 at halftime. We'll be back here in just a few minutes with some second half play. Currently at half, LaMoure-Litchville Marion 46, Sargent County 0.
Anderson Seed Farms Incorporated is your local LG Seeds and Dairyland seed dealership. They offer the latest traits and genetics in both corn and soybeans along with alfalfa. Anderson Seed Farms is also a certified seed conditioning plant that grows, conditions, and sells Westbred Spring Wheat Seed, which was the top-grown spring wheat in North Dakota last year. If you'd like to know more about these industry-leading products, contact Anderson Seed Farms in Foreman at 701-724-3601 or check out AndersonSeedFarms.com.
Sargent Central Public School, helping others create themselves, things, and opportunities. It's home to a variety of wonderful opportunities, including a 24/7, 365 community wellness center, a 3rd through 12th grade smart lab, free pre-kindergarten, 1-to-1 student devices, and 12 weeks paid parental leave. For more information, please visit sargentcentral.org. Good luck, athletes, and good luck, Sargent County Bulldogs. Together is Central.
The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
I love my decision. I love the smallness of it and how close everyone is. Some of my other friends went to a four-year school, and I'm going to be done before them, even with 2 degrees and for a lot less money. My name's Casey, and I'm here for my future.
First week of college, I can't tell you how many friends I've made. It's a family, you know what I mean? Like every time I go to a meeting, like everyone knows my name. They're always kind to me. I love it. I can't explain how much I love it here. My name is Junior, and I'm here for my future.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Just a few seconds ahead of second half play here in Milner. And don't forget to stick around for the end of the broadcast. We will announce a Enbridge player of the game. Enbridge, life takes energy. Enbridge, energy for life. Visit Enbridge.com for career opportunities. And Sargent County set to kick it off. That's Tristan Peterson on the kick. And it's fielded right around the 36-yard line. And that is where the Lobos will take over. That was Mr. Owen Lesko on the grab and falls onto the ball, securing it at the 36. The official will swap out with the ball boy for the Lobo football. And the Lobos are going to spread things out a little bit here. And they'll send Theelgis in motion. They'll throw it to him. They'll pitch it to him, I should say, on the left side. And Theelgis has got enough for a first down. And he is pushed out of bounds. Across the 50-yard line, he gets to about the 47-yard line. And it'll be first down here for the Lobos. And that clock will continue to run despite it being out of bounds here, I believe, on a point spread rule here in the second half. And they'll hand the ball off to Theelgis in the middle, and Theelgis powers through and able to get another first down before finally getting brought down. In on that play was, I thought I saw a number 70. That looks like it might have been Robert Munden on that one. As Jace Fury checks out of the game. And the Lobos will line up for an I formation, and Colby Theelgis on the left side of your screen. And the ball will be handed off to Avery Kramer, and Yoakum able to get him down for a loss on the play. Loss of about a yard and a half, maybe 2 yards, bringing up 2nd and 12 for the Lobos. As Gunnar Theelgis will line up in the wide receiver position here to the near side. And in the backfield there is Avery Kramer with Workin. And he'll throw the ball off to Kramer. And Kramer speeding around the outside, able to get, and the ball comes loose. And Sargent County will recover. And a little break that the Bulldogs may need. And Kramer was dished off to on the right side there. And he would have had enough for a first down, but the ball had come loose as he was kind of coming down, it looked like. And miraculously kind of stayed in bounds. The rest of his body went out, but the ball had popped loose and stayed on the right side of the out of bounds marker, as the Bulldogs will have one to the left and one to the far right. And they'll hand the ball off to the middle right to Ryan Ing, and Ryan Ing will pick up a couple of yards on the play.
Tackled on the play by Leighton. And 2 on the play brings up 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs.
So he picked up a long 2 there, but we'll call it 2nd and 8 yet for Sargent County, as Olafson is off to the far side of the screen and Peterson to the near side, with Ryan Ing in the backfield with Hoisted. And the snap off to him. He's able to get the ball downfield, and it's picked off by Avery Kramer, the one who had just kind of given it up on the fumble, able to make up for that one. And he takes the ball out of bounds, and he gets to around the 20, but there is a flag kind of back where the ball was intercepted. We'll see what the officials have to say here. There's a flag down right around the 37-yard line. So an illegal block on the Lobos. So from the spot of the foul, they will put the ball back another 15 yards. And that'll drop them back to about the 46-yard line. On the Bulldog side of the field yet. And 9:05 to go. On the near side of the screen, Colby Thielgis is the wide receiver. And they'll snap it to Workin. Workin will hand the ball off to Gunnar Thielgis. And Gunnar will bring the ball closer to that first down marker. He'll pick up at least 8 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 2.
Gain of 8 on the play brings up 2nd and 2 for the Lobos.
And the Lobos are lining up here in a I formation, but they've got 2 receivers off to the left. And Workin takes it, hands the ball up the middle to Gunnar, and Gunnar just jumps through and finds a hole to get the yards that he needs. That'll be enough for a first down again for the Lobos, as Gunnar Thielgis, once again, just using his athleticism to snake around, and when he hits and finds a break, he doesn't need much of a hole. He's able to kind of find it and make one, and it's fun watching him up here. He's slippery. He's very slippery, and able to get a first down here for the Lobos as they'll line up in an I with Colby off to the far left, and they'll hand the ball off to Avery Kramer, and Kramer is stopped by a couple of Bulldogs here. That looked like in on the play was Colin Olson and Harry Newstall. And he was able to pick up a yard on the play. Avery Kramer checks out of the game. And Gunnar Thielgis and Mason Workin come back into the huddle, bring the play off from Coach Delabar. And they'll line up in an I here with Colby on the right. And he'll spin around to his left side. And he's got over on the far side there. That's Owen Lesko. Owen Lesko able to pick up about 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Lobos. Here with 6:35 to go in the third quarter. That clock will keep winding. And a few substitutions here as Kramer comes in and Cale Hebel goes out. And Avery Kramer is here on the right side. And Gunnar Thieldjus in the backfield with Workin. And Colby Thieldjus on the left side. And Workin will keep the ball going off to his right. We do have a flag on the right side of the field. It looks like it may be a penalty on the Lobos. Judging by the hand signals I'm seeing here on the and that'll be a hold on the Lobos, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And they'll bring that ball right to about the 38-yard line.
Third and 13 for the Lobos.
As Hebel comes in.
Bulldog 38-yard line.
And we've got a Thieldjus to the left and a Thieldjus to the right. And Hebel's in the backfield. And we've got a timeout on the field by LaMoure-Litchville Marion.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us.
Let the geeks at GK Technology help you with your agricultural data. Their agronomists know agriculture. When it comes to creating soils and zone maps to maximize yields in your fields, you can trust the people with decades of experience in site-specific agriculture. Everyone at GK Technology has a background in agriculture, so they know what makes a farm run, and they speak your language. The geeks at GK Technology have a map and an app for that.
And back here from that timeout called by Coach Delabar of the Lobos. Our timeout brought to you by Bank North. As the Lobos will line up here with 2 receivers off to the far side. And Hebel and Gunnar Thieldjus in the backfield, and a fake pump pass to the left, but he'll throw it deep downfield and comes up with the play is number 23, Brian Karlgaard, for a touchdown once again here for the Lobos. That kind of pump fake off to the left there. And able to find Karlgaard in the end zone. The defender couldn't quite get there, had his hands up. But Karlgaard comes down for 6 more, and they'll attempt a extra point, and that'll go right through the middle of the uprights. And that'll put us at 53-0 here with 4:45 to go in the third quarter. We'll be back in just a minute.
Hi, this is Jim, and along with Bernie, we're inviting R&J Broadcasting Incorporated listeners to join us on a tour of the Hawaiian Islands, February 22nd through March 3rd. The Big Island will be part of this trip while taking in the breathtaking views of Oahu, the Big Island, and Maui. Enjoy the perfect balance between scheduled activities mixed with personal leisure time. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ to learn more about this tour, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
Milner Grain understands that agriculture is your livelihood, and we're committed to providing you with the highest quality of services to meet your farming needs. Milner Grain has a passion for our community and the farmers we serve. Milner Grain is locally owned and operated. When you're looking for a partner in the field, look to Milner Grain. Call 701-427-5284 or check out Milner Grain's app with current up-to-date prices. Milner Grain is here to help you and your farm grow.
Back here in Milner at Gaynor Field, 53-0. LaMoure-Litchville Marion on top of Sargent County here with 3:19 to go in the third. As the Lobos kick it off, and that goes off to the left side. That's going to go out of bounds again. The Bulldogs will have the ball again at the 35-yard line. A little scoring update for those of you curious about the game going on 15 miles to the east here in Wyndmere. Right now with 10 minutes to go left in the third, Wyndmere-Lidgerwood Warbirds have a 14-8 lead right now with 10 to go in the third. And it appears that Hankinson, at least at the last update, has possession of the ball. And the Bulldogs got one to the left, one to the right. Ing in the backfield. They'll hand the ball off to Ing, and he is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe got back to the line. And Hebel able to get him there for a short loss, maybe a half yard on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 10 as that clock continues to wind down here with a quarter and some change left to go on the season for the Sargent County Bulldogs. As a reminder, if you missed some of the announcing of it earlier, Sargent County out of the playoffs regardless of a win or lose here today. And Hoisted able to get the ball, kind of had to resort to throwing it a little low. He saw the hands coming high, and they've been blocking all night long, getting their hands up in the air. And it looked like he tried to kind of lace it underneath the hands that had come up, but didn't quite get over to the intended receiver here on the near side of the field. LaMoure-Litchville Marion 7-0 on the season. Large margin of victory here. The closest team to kind of get them here was that Wyndmere-Lidgerwood Warbird team. They were able to get a few points on the board, but 68-42 is the score last week in that game. Hoisted gets the ball off to Peterson. It's kind of behind him, and it'll drop incomplete, and it'll be 4th and 10, and that clock will continue to wind even after the incomplete pass with a points rule here. And they'll make some substitutions in, assuming it may be the punt team, but we will see what they try and do here. But scores from earlier in the season for LaMoure-Litchville Marion, just reading through the scores: 40-8, 72-8, 73-14, 42-8, 56-13, 60-14. So putting points on the board and not allowing anybody. So the Bulldogs do punt it, and they'll kick it deep. That's actually a great punt. We'll get to about the 16-yard line on the other side of the field. Hoisted able to get the ball, at least to get the Lobos away from the end zone with 50 seconds to go here in the third quarter. For the Sargent County Bulldogs so far on the year, they started out with a win against Maple River, 36-24. Came back the following week with a loss against Griggs Mid-Dakota on August 30th, 26-28. They did have a lead going into the halftime here on that game, but were unable to get away with a win. The following week, they had hosted Mayport CG in Gwinner, won that game 25-8. The following week, they had Wyndmere-Lidgerwood over here in Milner, where Wyndmere-Lidgerwood put 48 on the board, and Sargent County just 6 points. And then Hankinson game, Coach Olson and I feel like they had kind of played pretty decent. We're without James Trainer for that Wyndmere-Lidgerwood game and the Hankinson game. We're able to kind of be within 2 touchdowns of that one. 26-40 was that game. And Richland had come to Gwinner. Were able to put 56 points on the board, defeating the Colts 56-12. And last week they played against Tri-State and came away victors 36-6, bringing their season record to 4-3 before tonight's game. And the clock will continue to wind here. 10 seconds left to go in the third quarter. We'll see if they get a playoff, and I'm assuming they will hold out here and get this one into the fourth quarter, and we'll flip sides of the field. So that'll bring it to the fourth quarter. We'll bring you back fourth quarter action here in just a minute.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
The Sargent Central Dollars for Scholars chapter is a nonprofit foundation that supports academic success in the community. The mission is to mobilize the community on behalf of post-secondary education success for the students. Dollars for Scholars chapters help hometown students achieve their educational goals by raising scholarship funds, establishing endowments, and more. For more information, scan the QR code on screen or stop by the Sargent Central School District. Tonight's sponsors for the Sargent Central Dollars for Scholars is the Fody family and Anderson Seed Farm.
Sargent Central Public School, helping others create themselves things and opportunities. It's a home to a variety of wonderful opportunities, including a 24/7, 365 community wellness center, a 3rd through 12th grade smart lab, free pre-kindergarten, 1-to-1 student devices, and 12 weeks paid parental leave. For more information, please visit sargentcentral.org. Good luck, athletes, and good luck, Sargent County Bulldogs. Together is Central.
And back here at Gaynor Field to begin the fourth quarter.
Kramer on the carry.
Kramer gets the ball to start off the fourth quarter with a third and long situation here for the Lobos. They're backed up inside the 10-yard line. 3rd and 18 as the clock continues to roll. And the Bulldogs will make a substitution here at the last second. As a lot of the second team is in here, I guess, on a couple sides of the field. And with the ball there, throwing it deep downfield to number 1 for the Lobos, Russell Exner, able to pick that one up. And it's the sophomore Logan Potts that comes in at the quarterback position. And a successful first down play here as the Lobos will keep it. But LaMoure-Litchville Marion showing why they are the number 1 ranked team in 9-man football here tonight. Gunnar Thielgis, just an outstanding runner. And Mr. Mason working. The quarterback able to kind of dial in the ball right where his receivers are. The defense is not allowing anything. As mentioned a few times earlier today, as the ball, I believe, Trace McGoy gets in on the play, and he'll check out.
Brings up 2nd and 8 for the Lobos.
But the hands-up defense on those tall linebacking core and linemen for LaMoure-Litchville Marion, not allowing the quarterback to do a heck of a whole lot. And no points on the board here for Sargent County so far in this game. Sargent County dressing tonight was number 2, James Traynor, the senior. As the fumble, they look to do, it could have been a reverse or a fake reverse, but the ball ends up coming loose, and Sargent County will recover the football and able to keep some points off of the board from the Lobos, at least for now. But James Traynor suffered a ankle injury midway through the season. Couldn't make the last couple of games, and there was a little bit different injury from my understanding. A little concern maybe with an Achilles for James. Not really wanting to risk playing tonight. Got basketball coming up here as well, and no playoff hopes here for Sargent County. So James is dressed on the sideline, but has not been in on the game yet. I know Coach had mentioned he had wanted to get in, and speaking of which, he wanted to kind of get in, I think, at least for one more carry. So we will see if Traynor is able to come in, as a lot of the team is joined in here on this change of possession and timeout. As Coach Olson flips the ball in, we've got Hunter Leon, the freshman quarterback, practicing a few snaps from Connor Olson. And we'll check in here. Got a score update for the Wyndmere-Lidgerwood Hankinson game. It is all knotted up with 6 minutes left to go in the third. 14-14, Wyndmere-Lidgerwood with the ball. And the winner of that one will advance to the playoffs. And Leon hands the ball off to Furter. Furter spins around to his left side, and he's met right away by Jake Kramer, the senior. And that'll be a loss of a couple yards on the play.
Brings up 2nd and 11 for the Bulldogs.
So some of the teams prior to tonight that we know were kind of locked into the playoffs from Region 1 here, LaMoure-Litchville, Marion, as mentioned, either Wyndmere-Lidgerwood or Hankinson will make it in. In Region 2, Griggs-Dakota is in. New Rockford, Cheyenne, Maddock from Region 3 is in. Out of Region 4, North Border is in. Region 5, West Hope, Newburgh, Glenburn is in. And also out of that region, Mohall, Lansford, Sherwood is in. Those two battling it out tonight, but both locked into the playoffs. Out of Region 7, Grant County Flasher is in. And in Region 8, Linton, HMB, Strasburg, Zeeland, and Central McLean also battling it out, but they are both in the playoffs. And a few determining games here tonight to sort of set that playoff landscape here for region, for 9-man for the state of North Dakota. They'll pitch the ball off to Furter to the right, and Furter is able to knock his way over to, let's see, will they get in on the first down? He had a long ways to go. He'll be a little short. Big gain on the play. And he'll be about 2 yards short. And it'll be 3rd and 2 as the play clock continues to wind down. So in the backfield, we've got Furter in the halfback position. And in the fullback position, they'll pitch it to Furter again here on the left. And he'll dance his way off to the right, finding a little bit of room. And it'll be enough for a first down. And the Sargent County Bulldogs will advance for a 1st and 10. And it'll be around the 16-yard line, if I can see kind of correctly from here. But in the backfield, 26, Anthony Furter, the freshman, another freshman. In front of him there is Cole Fury, wearing number 25. And at quarterback is number 17, Hunter Leon, the freshman. And the ball is loose. He was hit nearly right away before he was even extending his arm. As he was extending his arm, was hit, and the ball had come loose, and LaMoure-Litchville Marion will take over on that fumble. On the defensive side here now for the Bulldogs, seeing some play. Number 22, Jacob Creech there on the left defensive end position. Number 65 in there on the line is Aiden Anderson, the senior. Number 82 on the right side, Luke Mund. And the middle linebacker, one of the middle linebacker positions looks to be Connor Olson, and Cole Fury in here as well. And the ball goes up the middle, and breaking through, I believe, is Avery Kramer. Check that. Andre Van Eden, number 16.
First down, Lopez.
First and 10 here for the Lobos. And the ball is placed right around the 31-yard line. On the near side here in the wide receiver position is John Logering. And the ball is handed off again to Van Eden. And he's wrapped up by a couple of Bulldogs. Checking in is number 9 for the LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos, Joseph Potts. And Potts is the wide receiver off to the far right side. And in the backfield, Grayson Matson, the freshman at fullback. And Van Eden, as Van Eden gets the ball again.
Van Eden on the carry.
Also in for the Lobos, a sophomore at the tight end position, Riley Christofferson. Checking in, I think it's Logering is the pronunciation. Apologies for the mispronunciation earlier. He's off on the far side of the field. And the ball is handed off again to Van Eden and is brought down by Connor Olson. Short gain on the play. It'll bring up 4th and 4.
It'll be 4th and 4 for the Lobos.
And the Lobos will line up again in an I formation with Riley Christofferson to the near side. Take the snap, and he'll roll around to his right, and he's going to take the keeper. That's Logan Potts, and he's able to pick up a first down before going out of bounds. And that clock will keep winding as the margin of victory, margin here in the fourth quarter is wide enough here to where that clock keeps running despite going out of bounds or an incomplete pass. As Easton Johnson checks in, Hunter Leon checks out. John Logering on the near side and her I formation. As Potts takes the ball, he'll hand it off again, and that is Van Eden. And Van Eden is able to get across the line of scrimmage, picking up about a 1-yard gain, bringing up 2nd and 9.
Game brings up 2nd and 9 for the Lobos.
As he hands the ball off again to Van Eden, picking up another yard or 2 on the play. So looking here at Region 1 standings, it appears that LaMoure-Litchville Marion will finish off a perfect 8-0 season, 4-0 in Region 1, giving them the top spot. Hankinson and Weimar-Lidgerwood are battling it out right now for that number 2 spot. Both teams have a 2-1 record in region play currently. Hankinson's got a 6-1 record, and Weimar-Lidgerwood with a 5-2 record overall. Sargent County here will drop to 1-3 in region play and 4-4 overall. And it appears that Tri-State will probably drop this last game as well, as Potts looks around, gets a good hole, or creates some room, I should say, on the near side, and able to pick up another first down here for the Lobos. So the seed yet to be sort of determined is happening here to the east, 15 miles in Wyndmere, as the Hankinson Pirates and the Weimar-Lidgerwood Warbirds are battling it out. And we will see how the brackets sort of unfold. A good chunk, more than half of the teams are locked into the playoffs here already. And they'll down it here, and the play clock will expire. Game clock will expire. And final score here from Milner at Gaynor Field. The LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos 53, Sargent County 0. We'll be back here to announce a Enbridge Player of the Game, as well as fill you in on the scores here from tonight's game. A little recap there. And then any other scores that have been reported in, we'll be sure to get to here in just a minute.
The Milner Public School District has a long history of academic, artistic, and athletic achievement and is proud of the programs and education environment offered. A fully accredited educational system, Milner Public School District operates 2 separate school buildings, including Sundale Colony School. Over 85%, that's right, 85% of the graduates of Milner High School attend some form of post-secondary educational institution. You can find more information on the Milner Public School District online at milner.k12.nd.us. The Bison Booster Club, an organization that is rooted in their support of the activities within the Milner Public School District and the City of Milner. They pride themselves on their community involvement in local donations to area projects and sponsorships to help make their community a pleasant place to reside. If you have any questions or are interested in becoming a Booster Club member, you can check out the Bison Booster Club on Facebook or talk with any of the existing members. The Bison Booster Club, helping make their community a better place to live.
And back here at Gaynor Field, final score: LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos, the number 1 ranked team in the state, proving their ranking and holding on to a perfect 8-0 regular season. Defeat the Sargent County Bulldogs 53-0 here in Milner. And a little recap of the game. So in the first quarter, with 8:06 to go, Colby Thiel just received a pass from Workin for about 46 yards. For the touchdown, and pass to Hebel to convert for 2, bringing it 8-0. Later on in the first, with 5:08 to go, Gunnar Thiel just broke through with a 33-yard run, headed north to south, and was able to get into the end zone. A pass to Carl Gard in the end zone for the 2-point conversion brought the score to 16-0. In the second quarter, the first play to start off the second quarter with 11:54 to go, Workin passed to Lesko, and Lesko was able to get about a 28-yard touchdown reception. Gunnar Thiel just ran it in for the 2-point conversion, bringing the score 24-0. Later on in the second, with a couple minutes later, with 9:27 to go in the second quarter, Workin passed the ball to Carl Gard for a 25-yard touchdown. The 2-point conversion was no good, bringing the score to 30-0. And midway through the second quarter, with 5:53 to go, Hebel ran it in for a 4-yard touchdown, and Lesko ran it in for the 2-point conversion, bringing it to 38-0. And in the second quarter, just towards the end there, with 36 seconds to go, Gunnar Thiel just caught a ball from Workin for about a 21-yard touchdown, and then he ran it in as well, bringing the score to 46-0. And the final scoring that happened was in the third quarter with 4:45 to go. A pass from Workin to Karlgaard. Got in the end zone. I didn't catch exactly where the line of scrimmage was. It was somewhere around about 25 yards. And then they kicked it in for the extra point, bringing the score to 53-0, and that was the final here at the end of all of it. So tonight's player of the game, I have a little bit, I don't keep full stats here. It's just me up here in the booth. But from what I could see, Gunnar Thiel just proved pretty well that he is one of the best athletes here out on the field, but I've got to actually give this Enbridge Player of the Game award to the quarterback, Mason Workin, the sophomore quarterback, able to get in 5 passing touchdowns here on the evening and able to find his receivers wherever they were at. And congratulations, Mr. Workin. You are the Enbridge Player of the Game. Life takes energy. Enbridge. Energy for life. Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Well, continuing on here with the post-game show, I'll read off a few scores that have been reported in here from around the state in 9-man football, as well as 11A, AA, and a few games also in AAA. So the game that I think a lot of you are probably paying close attention to, with 11 minutes to go left in the fourth, 15 miles to the east here, the Wyndmere-Lidgewood Warbirds have a 20-14 lead with 11 minutes left to go in the game. Hankinson with the ball. Other scores going on around 9-man football. New Rockford Cheyenne defeats Hatton Northwood 61-8. Griggs Midkota also defeats Tri-State 61-8. Mayport CG defeats the Richland Colts 47-6. Maple River on top of Enderlin 30-14 with 4 minutes left to go in the game. And Linton HMB Strasburg Zeeland is on top of Central McLean. Those are the 4th and 5th ranked teams in the state out of Region 8, both teams. That score right now is 38-14 in favor of Linton HMB Strasburg Zeeland with about 11 minutes to go left in the fourth, last reported. A few other scores here. We'll switch on over to the 11A class. Some scores that are reported in the final from Grafton. Botno defeats Grafton, spoilers, 35-12. Bishop Ryan, the 3rd-ranked team out of the 11A division, on top of Ray Powers Lake, 26-19 with 2 minutes left to go. The Lisbon Broncos on top of Hillsborough Central Valley with 7 minutes left to go in the fourth, 22-12. Killdeer on top of Beulah, 61-22 with 9 minutes left to go in the fourth. And the final score from Thompson High School, the Kindred Vikings defeat Thompson 52-13. Carrington on top of Rugby right now, 35-14 with 9 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Langdon area Edmore Munich defeats Park River 21-6. And Central Cass, the 5th-ranked team out of the 11A division, on top of the Oaks Tornadoes 28-0. Northern Cass right now is hosting Ellendale Edgeley Column, and Ellendale Edgeley Column Rebels have a 28-6 lead with 8 minutes left to go in the fourth. And on to the AA division. A few scores to report in. Valley City defeats Watford City 27-18. Minot North on top of Dickinson right now, 34-7 with 10 minutes left to go. And the number 1 ranked Grand Forks Red River on top of Wahpeton, 34-20 with a minute left to go in the third. In the AAA division, Minot is on top of Mandan, 39-21 with 9 minutes left to go in the fourth. And the Battle of the Bismarck Schools, the number 5 ranked Bismarck High School beats Bismarck Legacy 34-26. And that'll do it here from Gaynor Field in Milner, North Dakota. The Bulldogs end their season at 4-4, and the LaMoure-Litchville Marion Lobos finish off a perfect regular season at 8-0 and hold their #1 rank in the state. Till next time, have a great evening. We'll see you next season.